Growing takes time. Ranch Systems has the tools to help you quickly get the information you need so you can get on with your day. Check your water, crop status, and weather from real sensors in your field. To learn more, contact us today.
Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with American Vineyard Magazine, reporting to you from the annual Tree and Vine Expo at the Stanislaus County Fairgrounds. Here with Akif Eskalen, one of the presenters, who shared a great presentation helping us better understand Aspergillus vine canker and what that means, and California vineyards particularly, what impact it has on the trunk disease complex that we got going on.
Very good question. So as you mentioned that the grapevine has a lot of different trunk diseases. They are known as Eutypella, Eutypa, Botryspharia, and Pomopsis, all kinds of things. Recently, we identified Aspergillus species also contributing or causing another canker on grapevine trunk and also fruit disease on grapevine. So we have been investigating about it. So I just give a talk about it to inform our growers about these new disease of the grapevine trunk diseases.
So how do you identify this and how widespread are you seeing the impacts?
It's a very good question. Many cases, it's a little bit difficult to identify the trunk diseases because those diseases may or may not be apparent on the grapevine. Sometimes they can contaminate the vine and then continue colonizing within the xylem vessels, which is the wood tissue of the grapevine, and then they stay there, and then you may not be able to notice until it caused a big damage. So because of that, when you see any abnormal symptom in Aspergillus vine canker situation, you will see reddish leaves in the early fall on the grapevine if your grapevine doesn't have the viral diseases, because there are a lot of virus diseases also show the similar reddish leaves symptoms.
Like red blotch.
Exactly. So that's how you can identify, or you can take the sample of the symptomatic or suspect grapevine and send it to laboratory and then have them identify based on their isolation.
Now, are we seeing this in all parts of California or just regionally?
So we just started exploring this part of the vine canker. Recently, we have been finding this in Kern County, in Central Valley. We got samples from the Fresno and also in San Joaquin Valley. So it looks like it is common all over the California, but they haven't been identified correctly. So now my lab has been putting an effort to identify them correctly.
Yeah, we got no shortage of issues, with sudden vine collapse, red blotch, some of these things we just don't diagnose and learn enough about right away, and until it's widespread and there's not too much we can do except taking out the vines. Can you tell us a little more about how it affects the production?
That's a very good question. So let me mention a little bit more about the Aspergillus vine canker. So this disease has been first identified many years ago in one location in Central Valley, and then it was identified based on the morphology. And Aspergillus complex, also known as a part of the sour rot complex of the grapevine, so that cause post-harvest diseases or just before the harvest diseases on the certain cultivars. So in California condition, Aspergillus is playing the big role on that the complex. So we also know that the same species that we identified causing canker also associated with the sour rot. Because of that, to answer your question, is that it is not only causing damage to the vine itself, but also fruit. So that way, it's causing tremendous amount of the economical damage. When the growers harvest them, almost more than half of the grapevine can go nothing because of the sour rot issue. So that's why we are not only focusing on the trunk part of it, we are trying to solve the entire complex with the sour rot issue as well.
And then lastly, what can growers do about it, if they discover this in their vineyard?
That's a very good point. We don't have a silver bullet controlling method, as I just talk about some of the managements in my talk. And but my lab is now also not only focusing on the epidemiology of this disease, but also focusing on the how to control, or if I have to say, how to prevent
Prevention is key.
these diseases have the clean plant in our vineyard. That's what we're focusing on.
Well, thank you so much, Akif. We appreciate having you, and read more about this in the coming issues of American Vineyard Magazine. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.